How's it going, everyone? I'm Zach McAllister, and today we're going to be reviewing the Glow.0 LED juggling balls by Wes Peden and funinmotiontoys. If you don't know much about this product, it is a collaboration between Wes Peden and funinmotiontoys. funinmotiontoys has been making toys for a little while now. They have some that I've already reviewed, including the Tech Tee, which is a collaboration with Eric Oberry. So they seem to do a lot of collaborations with various jugglers they seem to like. But you can tell here we have a collaboration, and this one just happens to be with Wes Peden. If you go on the website, you can see a bunch of videos of Wes Peden talking about this prop and also just giving tutorials to beginners. So these are really marketed towards both people who want a good budget LED ball, but they're also marketed towards people who don't really juggle and maybe want to try learning how to juggle. These are pretty cheap, pretty on the cheap side. I've had this set for about a year. Here, let me go ahead and get these out. As you're opening, I don't know if you can see that. Surprise Wes Peden. Here's what the balls look like in hand. They're a nice like white kind of cream silicone color. You can see mine are a little beat up. That's because I've used them for a lot of gig performances. They have a little button here. You can see there's a USB for charging and a little button. If you press it, it turns on. If you press it again, it turns on to multiple various colors. There's a few different settings. This one seems to be like some sort of fade where it's changing between colors, just like that. There's some strobe stuff. And then you have a bunch of solid colors. You have red, green, blue, purple, and then white. And then there is a yellow, but it's like a flashing kind of yellow. If we turn them all on, you can see they are fairly bright. They're not the brightest ball in the world, but they are relatively bright. They're pretty squishy. They're filled with some sort of beads that kind of disperse the light, I assume. You can tell where the USB port is. It's a little bit flat there. Like there's a little bit of flatness going on. I would prefer if it was more round, because when I do a lot of rolling stuff, you can feel that. It's not a huge deal, to be honest. But whenever I use Greg Kennedy's hemisphere, like for example, like if you're rolling balls in a bowl, you can see how this little tiny divot here might make a big difference on how well these would work with a prop such as that. If you want to turn them off, you hold down the button. And really, that's all there is to this prop itself. There is different settings where you can change the brightness of the balls. There's a little pamphlet that tells you how to do that. Yeah, they're pretty functioning glow balls. What amazes me about this ball is the price point. You can get this set of 3 balls for $45. That is crazy. If we were to compare these to the Flomoja balls, which are made by Flow Toys, those may have more settings, and they may be slightly nicer, but they are $70 each, or somewhere in that ballpark. So the fact that we're getting 3 of them for the price of 1, minus like 25 bucks, is a really, really nice thing for jugglers to have access to. Mainly because like glow props, like everyone wants to have glow props, but maybe you don't have the money to buy props like that. So having the option of buying a set of 3 pretty nice glow balls for $45 is honestly a steal. I've used a lot of glow balls over the last few years. I've used the K8s, I've used the Flomoja. The budget juggling balls, which I would compare these to from the past, like you can get ones for like 15 bucks. They do not hold a candle to this juggling ball. Those old ones where you have to put the little batteries into and you have to twist the button, they only have 1 color option. And they're not distributed evenly with the lighting. Like typically they don't light up that bright at all. But when you look at this, like, and you're performing with something like this, it's pretty bright. Like, I mean, it's not a Flow Toys prop bright, but it is pretty bright. I've been doing a reoccurring gig around Christmas time, and for the past 2 years, we juggle on a moving train, and there's a lot of crazy stuff happening, but we need glow props. And the last 2 years, they've been supplying us with the Wes Peden balls, and they take a lot of beating. They've been chucked off the train by children, and they still work. They're functioning. They're not breakable by any means that I can tell, and they look good, which is the important thing. If you compared it to any other juggling ball, in my opinion, I don't think you would be able to tell which is which. unless you had a side-by-side comparison. As far as cleaning the prop, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but there are certain marks that appear to be ingrained in the ball. I've tried using acetone and various other cleaners that normally work on similar materials, and these ones, I've juggled them long enough, I think they are just not coming out, which is fine. Like, you know, I paid $45 for 3 juggling balls. I think if I need to pay for more, I can. But honestly, I can't even really tell when I'm in the dark, you know, when I'm performing. I can't really tell that these marks are here. The last thing I want to bring up is, how do they juggle? Like, do they feel good? I've juggled them a little bit. I have a bit of a sprained wrist, but I can't do much. But yeah, they're squishy. They're pretty squishy. They roll pretty far if you drop them, but that's pretty typical with a juggling ball of this kind. They're everything you would want in a budget juggling ball. Of course, if you have the money and you want to do some like programming stuff, you could use the Flowmojo balls, because you can use the Flowtoys app with that prop. So it's cool to be able to do those kind of settings and that kind of thing. But really, if you're just looking for a good glow juggling ball, I think this is the best thing we're going to get. The only complaint I really have is that this divot is here. Some people might like it because you can set it on a table and it won't roll away. But as a juggler, I want to have more accessibility to like the roundness of the ball. So like maybe if there was like a little pin you could put in where you could plug into the micro USB and make the whole ball round, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to give a really quick shout out to Regular Ben over on YouTube. He has been making a lot of reviews of juggling glow balls over the last few months. So if you want to see any more reviews or any more videos about these topics, he especially reviewed the Ignis Pixel juggling ball, which I already got those rings, and I don't think I'm going to go for the balls personally. So if you want to see a review of that product, I would go over there and check it out. He has some good videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.